This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Friday, November the 17th. So glad you could join us. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. In our top story at this hour, police are investigating the unnatural death of a St. Michael man. 44-year-old Winston Tyrone Ford was found hanging from a rafter in his apartment by his family around 7:45 this morning. The family had to rush to Ford's Wanstead Gardens apartment after repeated attempts to reach him failed. Government is moving to better secure this island's ports of entry. It is set to purchase new scanning equipment valued at $12.9 million to be used by customs officers at the Grantley Adams International Airport and the Bridgetown Port. Minister of Finance Chris Sinclair made the announcement this morning as he signed off on a $30 million loan agreement with the Latin American Development Bank in support of a 2-year tax administration infrastructure reform program.
Since Barbados depends very heavily on its tourism industry and of course on trade, international trade, it is critical that both of the main ports of entry are adequately equipped to deal with this business. In recent times, slow processing due to manual operations by the Customs and Excise departments at both ports has had a not so positive effect on the country's image and also on the business of trade and commerce in the country. And therefore, we have had to take a very serious look at the reform process in these issues. Of course, this has been compounded by the problems of detection of both dutiable items but also contraband and illegal substances.
The International Monetary Fund has refused to rule out the possibility of a devaluation of the Barbados dollar should the country enter a fiscal program with the lending institution. IMF Director for the Western Hemisphere, Alejandro Werner, however, made it clear that any such decision rested with the Barbados government. The Central Bank of Barbados and several noted economists have raised concerns about the future stability of the currency due to the country's dwindling foreign exchange reserves. Werner told Barbados Today the international financial market was losing confidence in the country. He advised the Friendly Stewart administration to consider its competitiveness as it seeks to build a program that is consistent and sustainable when it ponders devaluation. The IMF official said the Washington-based financial body was keeping a close eye on the performance of the local economy in light of the recent austerity measures implemented by the Stewart administration. In other news now, a fresh assurance that relief is on the way for residents and businesses on the South Coast, forced to grapple with persistent sewage woes. Today, Agriculture Minister Dr. David Eswick said his ministry is actively seeking to resolve the issue. Speaking at the launch of a $3.5 million renewable energy program between the Barbados Water Authority and the United Arab Emirates at the authority's Pine headquarters, Dr. Eswick admitted that the sewage system must be urgently upgraded.
And I'm moving aggressively to rebuild our sewage systems. They're all old, archaic, and failing. This is the reality. All concrete break up, simple as that. And all equipment fail. And sometimes you can imagine the level of development that would have happened on the South Coast since the 1990s when that South Coast sewage plant was built. So we are now facing infrastructure issues and future capacity issues. And one of the things I am going to thrust going forward is to modernize our wastewater and waste system.
The new state-of-the-art river terminal is expected to be completed by the beginning of next year. Word of this from Minister of Transport and Works, Michael Lashley. Lashley, Chief Transport Officer Alex Linton, and some contractors for the project toured the facility with some members of the media today. Lashley said he was confident that the terminal will be completed by the second week of February, and he assured there will be major improvements.
For over 30 years, the passengers, the PSV operators, And even the workers employed by the NTW, they were crying out for improved conditions, in fact, better conditions of work. And, you know, even with that, there's also a report from a government agency which mentioned that basically the terminal is unsanitary, unfit for persons, and that we should really seek to improve the facilities here with urgency. So we've started the process, and because we believe that you know, the transport sector is important to the economy. We also believe too that the PST operators, they're providing excellent service to the traveling public. We must applaud them for that. Yes, people talk about behavior and whatnot, but there's still some that are good. But so we're providing improved facilities for them, and not only that, we're also improving better security so that they can work even longer hours up here. Because there will be CCTV cameras, there will be improved lighting, and we will have security by use of technology, and security of course, by personnel employed by the Transport Authority.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Indulge your every craving at this year's Barbados Food and Rum Festival, November 16th to 19th. Thursday, the festival kicks off at Oyston's. Friday, the Barbados Concord Experience, 8 chefs, 6 mixologists and the energetic Spice & Company. Saturday, taste the spirits of polo featuring Chef Jason Howard. This would not be Barbados without a beach party. Sunday, enjoy an impressive lineup of Barbadian entertainers at the Hilton for Feet in the Sand. And the weekend would not be complete without the Gourmet Safari Dinner Series at the Cliff, the Crane and the Tides. Remember, November 16th to 19th. Get your tickets at TicketPal box offices today.
Welcome back with news from the region now. In Trinidad and Tobago, to be exact, the Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union is now seeking intervention from the Attorney General and the Central Bank for what it says is an illegal pension plan being run by the Public Services Association. The union led a protest on Thursday calling on the PSA President Watson Duke to do the right thing. More in this report from TV6 News.
The request is a simple one, they say, to make their pension plan under the Watson Duke-led association legal.
We want Watson Duke to register the pension plan with the central bank. Simple. There's no politics in it. There's no economics in it. There is no issue in it but that. What is so difficult about registering the plan? The law says you must do that. The implications are that the law is being broken. The law is very weak in Trinidad and Tobago. As I said before, in another country, he would have been making a jail by now. According to Begu, it's something they've been asking for since 2010, and Cabrera hopes it will be investigated and resolved.
And on the international scene, regional branches of Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party have joined growing calls for President Robert Mugabe to resign. The move comes ahead of a protest march to be held in the capital, Harare, on Saturday, that's tomorrow, fully supported by the country's military, which staged a takeover on Wednesday. Earlier today, the 93-year-old Mugabe made his first public appearance since the takeover. But as we hear in this report from the CNN, there is much political maneuvering behind the scenes.
And it appears that the army is applying massive pressure, and those who are pushing behind them to try and get Robert Mugabe, the 93-year-old leader of Zimbabwe, to exit the scene. You had those bizarre scenes, frankly, of the president attending a graduation ceremony today in Harare. It seems, in a way, that the military had let him out for this event and then took him back into some form of detention. We're getting word from a government source who has direct knowledge of the negotiations that are happening that it appears that a deal was very close to being finalized for Mugabe to exit his rule of nearly 40 years, but then for some reason, Mugabe stepped back from that deal, and now we're in this situation of limbo with heavily armed military on the streets, but an overall sense of calm here in Zimbabwe.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic weekend.